All right, what's going on, everybody? It's Thursday, March 9th, 2023. Let's go ahead and dive on in. Market's kind of jumping up today. Making new highs. Again, pulling back to the volume weighted average price. Off that high up there, the view app band. Looks like we're about to get a cyan switch. I'm just going to join the bid right on here. See where it lets us in. In at 675. Looking to get out at 5 ticks on the cyan switch. A possible crossover the 1226, but the 9's above the 12, so I feel pretty confident about this trade already. We're just sitting down. May have some resistance there at 4008. You can see along this line. Then another resistance zone at 12, and then another one here at 16. So I've been trading now for about 30 seconds. And we're up. Well, can't say we're up until the trade closes, but I think we'll be up. Under music stop. Just like stop mid-song. Huh. Something's going on with that. I'll get the music going in just a moment. There we go. I'll go for a few more ticks on this. Let's go for 8. And I'll be looking for pullback to right here. You see a pullback to about the 50. It was right there at 4,007, but it doesn't look like we're getting that pullback. Music feels loud. Just trying to get an entry here. Doesn't seem to be working. Cut it and try and get back in. That's just running without me. We're lucky enough to get in on this trade here, but I had felt like I should have put my seller grip at 4,011, but you know, what are you gonna do? Try and get in at 10 if I can. How's the music? Is it loud? Oh, I realized that my charts aren't even up. Sonny, I think we got a really good opportunity here. We just got a crossover. We got the 9 getting above the 12. We got fresh cyan switch. This looks really solid to me for a really strong bounce off the volume weighted average price. This looks to me like a fresh set of moves. There's move 1. There's move 2. We just got this crossover. We'll probably get 2 more moves after this. If I could actually get into the trade, which has been a really... I don't know, man. Sometimes it just feels like frustratingly frustrating to try and just enter lately. I'm just gonna hit buy market and just see whatever happens. Okay, yeah, we get it. I'll be here all day trying to just get in and out. Let me in. Let me in at 12. I was trying to get in this candle and this candle. Actually, I was trying to get in this one, and this one, and I couldn't get in on any of them. Trying to get out of 14 now, since we entered so high. Why does the music keep stopping after every track? What's up with the music? I'm gonna go ahead and try and take profit right there. See how long it takes to let me out. Hopefully it lets me out while it's still in profit. This typically helps. Okay. There we go. Our marketer only took about 40 seconds that time. Something's wrong with this platform, man. Up 300 on the day. Trade for about 5 minutes or so. Really nice time to sit down. No music is good. Oh, do you want no music? Oh. Now I get it. All right. Looking for a pullback, probably to the 9. I don't know. Actually, I think a pullback down there might be a little too hectic, but today looks really super solid. You know, it's kind of interesting too, like with Jay Powell's stuff earlier in the week and how choppy that was. This looks really nice and smooth. And funny enough, I'm seeing like analysts say that, you know, the entire market's going to crash in 60 days, which is interesting because it's right on par with what we've been talking about since about last July, which was saying that, you know, I think that around June, mid-June or so, we're going to see some pretty heavy market pullbacks and in through the summer and then on into October. I think that we'll see very, very heavy market pullbacks and what one might consider to be a crash. Entered long at 12.5. I'm going to reduce my sell order to 13. Just go for 2 ticks on it. 5.9 to 6.0 to 6.2 on the TTM. TTM 1 minute. That is. I'm gonna have to tap in the sell order a couple times, but no fill. All right, up 487.50 on the day. Ended up pulling out a few extra ticks due to the lag. This is so like textbook my strategy right here. It was very nice. Just how smooth that is. Taking 3 trades. Up almost $500. Yeah, I think we just got lucky, Tiny. I mean, I sat down and I could see the trend reversal was there. It was already my setup. Like the moment I opened the chart, I was like, oh, wow, there's my setup. So it's just got lucky on that. You know, I mean, like, it's not very often you sit down and you're like, 9's crossing above the 12. We're about to get the crossover. Ba-doop. So, and that's like my exact setup. We were about to get the cyan switch the moment I sat down. So it's like, cyan switch inbound, 9 is getting above 12, crossovers happening. This was like move 2 of 5 out of my strat. By the way, I explained that a couple of days ago on the stream about my strategy being about like a 5-move strategy, and I never extrapolated it that way before. And in doing so, now my own strategy makes even more sense to me. I think that is really cool. That's probably one of my favorite things about doing this stream is that when you guys ask questions and I get an opportunity to explain it, all of a sudden I realize that there's knowledge going on in the background that I'm not articulating. that is actually taking place while I'm making trades, and it makes me a better trader. Um, Doing this stream makes me a better trader, and I love that. Like, to me, like, you guys showing up here, you guys giving back by, like, you guys showing up and asking questions and commenting and stuff like that. Like, it really creates sort of this reciprocity between us where like, I get a lot out of it. Like, when you guys ask me questions, I'm like, I have to, like, think about how I trade. I have to think about what I'm doing a lot more, and it brings these sort of, like, unconscious trading decisions into the consciousness, into the forefront, and I can understand more at a higher level, and it becomes easier. I just really love and appreciate you guys for that, and hopefully you guys get the same. Hopefully, like, me showing up here answering those questions and stuff like that gives you guys the same sort of sense. Like, got a flag forming here. Gives you guys the same sort of sense that, like, you're getting something, some sort of knowledge or some sort of getting better in some way out of it. We got a lot of downwicks on this flag. And you can see the T10's been leveling off. This one was putting in a blue candle before popping up and turning back to cyan. This one's putting in a blue in the same situation, back to cyan. We're kind of getting bounces off the 9 EMA right now. And here's that flag breakout. At least almost. That's a double top. Right here. I guess it broke slightly above it. We'll reduce this to back to 5. Trying to enter off 13. The 9 EMA is at 12.5. I don't know what's up with their music. All right, we're in this trade at 13. Kind of leveling off here a little bit. Might cut this trade. I'm gonna try to put it 2 ticks up and see if we can get out, but I don't love this trade. I don't know why we're getting, like, weird little lag pops in the music. I might have to close the app and reopen it. 6.9 to 6.5 in the TTM. Here we go. We got out of that trade with some profit, so not bad on that. Up 562.50 on the day. Kind of glad that we took that small profit. It looks like it could have gone a little bit higher, but I care more about taking some of the meat on the bone and not the whole thing. You know what, Tiny? I do too. Like, to me, like, this is one of the reasons why I do this, you know? I think one of the reasons, like, what I really like about the strat that I've been using is just how systematic it is. Like, I think that if I was to put it into, like, a video training course or something like that, like, it's so specific that I think like, like, it's almost algorithmic at this point. It's basically, if this whole section is a move, like, This right here is move 1. This going from red to yellow. So this would be the entry on this candle, right on the yellow, and then this would be the exit on that hammer. And then this, where? And then this here is move 2, where the 9 gets above the 12. And then this is move 3, where the cyan switch happens. So it would be like here to here, and then here on up. And then this would just ride as a larger trade. And then from here, the rest are manual. So the rest would have to be manually input. So I guess 3 of them could be algorithmic. That's also useful to know because my son and I are talking about building a bot. He likes to write code and stuff like that, so. And he's interested in learning trading. Fun fact, fun, interesting thing. His school has him doing a stock trading program right now. And I was like, what? And he was like, yeah, I signed up for this like stock trading class. And I'm like, do you get credit for that? He's like, yeah, dude, it's like my daily class, like my normal class. He's like, it's like my 4th period or something. I'm like, dude, that's awesome. And he's like, yeah, so I've been trading AMD in class. I'm like, so when you guys trade, do you trade like software like mine? And he's like, well, sort of, but the data is like 15 minutes behind. So they have delayed data of a program like this. I'm like, no way, dude. They got these kids using trading software in class? I was like, what? This is a very nice bounce here off the 9 EMA. This is probably going to be a breakout. If it's not, this is a very nice like 9 EMA bounce, pulling up to like 14.5. Got this like double top going on right here, but I think that this has room up to like 19. So I was like, do they allow you to enter like limit orders or just market orders? He's like, I use limit orders. And I know that he got that from class because I never taught him that. There's that breakout there popping up off the 9 EMA towards 15 and 16. Getting some rejection up there. We may see some fall down to like the 35 now. Unless this just continues to break out. So I thought that was super cool. Tiny, this is awesome. That's so cool. I'm really grateful to see and hear that because I know that this is not an easy skill, you know. A rising or descending wedge. Would that be considered a flag? I actually don't know that many patterns. Like, to be completely honest, I know a few, but I don't know that many. Like, if somebody's like engulfing of Mexico or something, I don't actually know that many patterns. I just don't. By the way, that was a Gulf of Mexico geography joke. Has anybody ever been to the Gulf of Mexico? It is really beautiful there. Like, absolutely. Like, I went to I was down in Florida, and I was at this retreat, if you will, um, years ago. This must have been like 7 years ago now, and I was at this this mentorship type thing with other entrepreneurs, and we went to this private island that was totally undeveloped, and the whole way there you could see to the bottom of the ocean, like you could see to the bottom of the whatever was there, uh, um, all the way down to the seafloor. As we were as we were riding the boat, I could see stingrays like skating alongside the boat. It should have entered me because you can see it's gone past it several times. And come on, let me in, dude. Let me in on this drop. Putting in for 2 ticks. I'm looking for just a small little bounce off this EMA 35. So I can see like stingrays at the bottom skating alongside next to the boat. And it was just really, really cool. It never really, the water never really seemed that deep. When we got out and we were walking around in the water and stuff, it did get, obviously deeper than what it looked. But it was just super cool to be able to see all the way to the bottom, see all the fish, see them just going about their lives. And yeah, it was really cool. Fun fact, when I was in Grand Cayman some years back, and I touched a stingray while I was there. They have this stingray thing where you can like go and feed the stingrays or whatever. So a lot of the stingrays there are kind of friendly. I don't recommend touching a stingray, but they feel really cool. So let me rephrase it. I recommend touching a stingray if you can touch a stingray safely. But stingrays are very dangerous creatures. They can shoot barbs at you and poison you and hurt you. I don't know. Actually, I don't know if they can poison, but I know that they can hurt really, really bad. Coming up to 12 is our entry point. I'm trying to get a 12 and a half off of. I was looking for a bounce, but I was looking for a little bit stronger bounce. Anyway, touching a stingray was really, really cool. And they feel really interesting. Like the texture while they were in the water felt almost velvety or like silky, sort of. I don't really know how to describe it. They had their very own texture to them. It's really interesting. It hit my sell order several times, but never filled it. Even went past my sell order a couple of times and never filled it. So I'm gonna, if this doesn't fill, I'm gonna blame this on a TOS issue because it did run through it 3 times and just didn't fill, and it should have. I'm gonna have to cut this now. Let's just start coming in with some volume here. Like, the chart looks good. Like, the chart looks like it's going to do the bounce. But it really should have filled those 3 different opportunities it had to fill. The chart looks less likely to bounce on this new candle. I'm going to go ahead and cut this. Hopefully it'll let me out before I'm like... Okay, it let me out pretty quick there. But that is kind of crap because it should have filled me 3 different times. I had 3 opportunities to fill me on this candle here. And I think 1 opportunity on this candle. You cut a stingray last night? Like last night? No, they're not friendly, but the ones that came in are a little bit different because they do feed them. They have these feeding expeditions where people go out there and they feed the stingrays, and the stingrays like get fed every single day by humans. So they do. I wouldn't say they're friendly. Definitely would not say they're friendly. But the ones in Grand Cayman did have some familiarity with humans, if that makes sense. Beer Can Island? I don't know, maybe. I'm just catching up on the comments. You been flat all day? My I got a nice trade setup like right when I sat down. I had a couple of trades like right when I sat down that were really nice. Um, so I'm just reading up through the comments. You're on day 5, right? You live on the Gulf of Mexico? 1 block away. Nice. Florida's dope, dude. I actually dig Florida. I've been to Florida a lot of times. I like Florida. Beer Can Island? I don't know. Tampa. We w- we were in we were in Tampa. We were in Tampa actually. Um when we went to that private island, we were in Tampa. Caught a stingray last night. So I'm just reading these. This is a fun conversation. Um we are getting some pullback in the chart. Day 6 today, no trades. It was Beer Can Island. I don't know. Maybe it was. I have no idea. I didn't organize the trip. I just rode on the boat, which I thought was cool. I was just part of the retreat that I was on. We didn't drink there though. I don't actually drink. Well, I drink tea. I drink tea, water, coffee, occasionally soda. I don't drink alcohol though. After the brain injury, I literally cannot drink alcohol, like at all. So I had the brain injury in 2016, and if I drink even like half of so up until this point, um, let me I'll backtrack. I was an alcoholic in high school. Um, I hate saying that, but it's true. Uh, I was an alcoholic in high school, and like I started drinking at like 13 years old. Mainly because I had a lot of influences in my life at a very young age that were like feeding me alcohol. And I quit drinking for a very long time at the age of 17. Um, and I really had almost no alcohol, so I was like 21. And then at 21, I had some alcohol, like a little bit here and there. But I was surprised I could still like really hold my liquor for a very long time. Um, and and it would just take like so much in order to get me drunk at all. I had the brain injury happen in 2016, and I barely, by this point in my life, I all but quit drinking after my son was born. And it was like super rare that I would ever do anything like that. And I had a beer, one singular beer after my brain injury, and I got about halfway through it and it was a Corona. And I got about halfway through it and I was already like slurring my words. I couldn't see straight. And I was like, man, I can't touch this stuff. This stuff is terrible. Um, and and later on, like, I don't know, maybe a year after that, I tried to have like another beer, had the exact same reaction. I was like, man, this stuff is awful. Um, so I just, I don't drink. I realized that it was just like, it wasn't something that I had really done much over like since the age of 17. I pretty much quit drinking at the age of 17. And it was like something every now and then, like really, really, really rare. And then after the brain injury, I'm just like, nah, I'm never touching this stuff ever. Cause it just like causes like massive, just like when I woke up from the brain injury, I could barely speak. And what did come out sounded like I had just drank a fifth of vodka. Like it was like, like it sounded awful. And so, when I drink, if I was to drink after the brain injuries, it's a similar reaction, similar result. Getting this pullback here all the way down to the volume weighted average price. Following waveforms today, really. This is actually kind of my favorite type of trading, is when it's just waveforms like this, because you can really just follow the TTM super closely and it's really simple. But yeah, I start going blind, lose my speech like immediately. So good. One would drink more after that. Now, dude, I mean, alcohol is absolutely awful. Like alcohol has so little benefit for your body. I mean, it's good for disinfectant and that's kind of it. Like alcohol, like I mean, I guess it's good for getting you drunk if that's what you're into. I actually hate being drunk. Um, like I hate the feeling of it. I don't like it even a little bit. Um, Anything that like makes me feel out of control in any capacity, I hate it. Um, so TTM falling from 5.8 to 6.1 down to 6.8. It's a pretty heavy drop here, below the volume weighted average price. I want to see a red to yellow. That's really what I'm looking for. You guys know the strat. I wait for red to yellow, then I wait for 912 crossover, and it's basically those two things are the main thing, and then we wait for yellow to cyan. So it's those three moves is like the main parts of the strategy. Then I usually get two moves after that. So that's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm waiting for. 6.5 down to 7.0. TTM's close to turning around. Hopefully we'll see a bounce here at the 200. But yeah, like alcohol is very, very, very little benefit. Obviously it's good. Like I said, it's good for disinfectant. And it can taste pretty good if you do it right. But it's not something I'm into personally. Just waiting for that red to yellow. A lot of buy orders coming in on that one. You see that? Hit a doji on the view up there. 6.6 to 6.8 to 7.0. TTM's kind of leveling off. I'm gonna take a little going for 8 ticks, and then I'm gonna try and take a trade off of this. Maybe off of 4001 or so. Hopefully it doesn't just dump down, but why did I put that all the way up at 2? So hard to get a fill here, man. So I'm at 4,002 as my entry point. You can see it's dropped below it. It should be filling me. I don't even know if I want to do this trade anymore. But I'm essentially banking on this TTM leveling off. So it finally entered me at 1.25. Gosh, this is so frustratingly slow. And I'm looking to get out at 3. Well, where we're at right now seems pretty decent. I'm looking for a TTM flip, some red to yellow, basically. And a bounce off that 200 moving average. You can see we bounce here up towards the VWAP 3 times in a row. But this did push down pretty heavily, so I may have to bail on this trade quickly. Pulling back down to 4,000. See if we bounce here at 4,000. Kind of at the risk level of this trade. I'm going to bump this up to 4,005 though. Our peak of the day is 562.50. $7.1 to 7.3. Just gonna check this on the longer term chart. Take a look at the 3-minute chart. Three minutes actually kind of breaking down as well. So this actually may be a trend reversal to the downside. So I may have to look at cutting this and switching. I took this as an anticipatory trade, and you guys know I don't have a good history with that. There's the yellow candle. This is what I was hoping for this to be like back here on this one. I was hoping for the yellow candle to come in above the 200. This one is showing up here. A lot of buy orders right there. You see that? Ton of buy orders coming in. So I don't know. If I look at the bulls bears, there does seem to be a reasonable amount of buy orders. So this could be an accumulation phase for a lot of traders. And we just need to see this red to yellow happen. But I think we need 3 yellow candles in a row now with this much sell off. We're gonna need like 3 yellows. TTM is flat, 7.3 to 7.3 to 7.2. Hopefully this gets above 7. There's 7. 6.9, that's what we want to see. Good amount of buy orders coming in here. This one was like 50-50 buy sell. Trying to get out of 4,005, so this is a little bit of a swing because I'm in at 401.25. I should say 4,001.25, but this is so much effort to say 1,000. 7.3 to 7.0 to 6.7. That's what we want to see. 35. EMA 35 is up here at 4,005.75. I think a lot of traders are going to be looking to take bounce off of 4,000. 7.0 to 6.7. Good amount of sell orders coming in there. I want to see the buy orders really outweigh the sells. By the way, if y'all chilling, y'all hanging out, make sure you like and subscribe and ring the bell for notice. You got snow outside, Tiny? By the time it's like March, dude, when I keep seeing snow, I'm like, yo, when is the snow gonna go away? I want to move back to Las Vegas. It was kind of fun. So I lived in Las Vegas in like 2014 or whatever, 2015, through that time. And when I got there, my first winter there, it snowed, and the person who like talked me into moving there was like, "Oh, the winters are great. It's like 75 degrees all winter long." And then like our first winter there, it snowed. I was like, "What the heck is this? I thought it was supposed to be 75." It only snowed for like a day or two, and it didn't last, but it was still it was kind of fun to see snow in the desert. TTM working its way up, going from 6.7 to 6.3 to 5.8. So TTM stacking reasonably well. We got to get back above the volume weighted average price. We got a possible crossover here. We may get a rejection. We got to see this get above VWAP. Really, this little line in the sand right here, about 4,002.5, which is really where the VWAP is. So we got to see it get above that. TTM going from 6.3 to 5.7, so that's a move point what? 26? Yeah. And then over to 5.2. That's a half a point on this pullback. I should have gone for the entry off 4,000. Our 9 and 12 moving averages are kind of pointed downwards, which is not what I want to see. I want to see the slope upward. But the 35 right here is crossing above the 26, so that does give us some confidence a little bit on this continued upward move. It's just kind of slow. Moving from 5.7 to 5.2 to 4.3. That's great. That's almost a full point. So we may get some momentum coming in shortly. Our sell order is now above the 35, so we may have to reduce it slightly to be below the 35. But I think that we can hit 4,005. Just figured I'd say it again for you. 5.2 to 4.3. Now to 3.4, so we're moving at a momentum pace of almost a full point. That's a lot of momentum in consideration with the ES. Most of the time, I'm looking for like, I consider anything above 0.7 to be a pretty strong amount of momentum. I'd like to see more price action to follow it, and I think that would come with a slight bit more volume. Our volume's okay. It's at like 2,200 or so on average. We actually have an average volume indicator right here, which is 2,500. Okay, getting above the VWAP. That's what I want to see. The next thing I really want to see is this 9 EMA get above this 12 EMA. That will help solidify this move upward, but the TTM is doing a pretty good job of it. From 4.3 to 3.3, now to 2.5. Looking nice. I'm looking for that move up to 4,005. It's a little slow, but you know, sometimes I kind of want to get good at taking trades that last for full, like several minutes at a time. I like the in and out. I like the instant profit. I like the security, if you will, of knowing that that profit's locked in. But I'm really trying to get good at being able to base these sort of longer term moves. Gonna zoom in on this. So we ran up pretty well on this one. Got a lot of downwick on that, so a fair amount of sell pressure there. Bouncing again here. Going from 2.7 to 2.0 on the TTM, but dropping down slightly on this on the candle. I might pull my sell order back to 4,003. I might have missed my opportunity to get out with this candle here. I hope not. Pulling back to our buy order. Like I said, the 9 above the 12 is a really important, and it's a really important crossover, because it really does help sort of solidify the move. My original intended exit was 4,005. I bumped it down to 4,003, which it's above, so it should be letting me out. Seller is on 3 now. .2 to 1.2. So that did run through. You can see right there that it ran through my sell order, but didn't fill. I wish I could just hit flatten and have it work like how it used to, and it would just like market me out, but it doesn't work that way anymore. A lot of times now when I hit flatten, I'm in the trade for an extra minute or two. And I, you know, I've lost several $100 just hitting the flatten button, waiting for it to let me out. Which I don't think it should be working that way, but that's how it's been doing. 2.0 to 1.3 to 0.9. We're getting more sell-off than I want to see on this. And you can see it didn't let me out at 4,003. Should have, because it did run through my order and above it. Ran up here to 4,003 and a quarter. So obviously, if I was there at 4,003 beforehand and it runs through all the 4,003 orders and runs up into 4,003 and a quarter, I should have been included in that, but I wasn't. And so here we are, 1.3 to 0.9. Only thing I really hope for now is the cyan switch in the 9 above the 12 in order for this trade to play out. I had an opt to get out on this candle, but at this point in time, our sell order was at 4,005. This one, however, our sell order was within the range, and it should have filled, but didn't. So now we're just waiting on this to see if it actually comes up and does the full move. It looks like it's gonna going from 1.3 to 0.7 to 0.2, so it's a movement at half a point. But there is a lot of downward pressure here, and this is an area, this is a common area where it can fail. You can see it rejected at the 26 here and at the 26 here. It's got to get through that 26, which is will be getting above 250, which again was that line in the sand that we talked about. It's got to get like past, like really, it's got to go past 3. It's got to just rip up here. There's our exit. We're up 562.50 on the day, which was our original peak of the day. There's our cyan switch, and now the 9 is getting above the 12, so this does look better for a continued breakout. I'm gonna want to see the 12.26 crossover here, just because of this downward pressure. And you can see the 9 actually failed getting above the 12 there. That's why I said this is an area of failure a lot of times, where it's on that verge of that 1226 crossover. And it's because a lot of institutional traders know that retail traders are using the 1226 crossover consistently to try and make trades. So now it's the 9 EMA getting above the 12 EMA that we want to see. I wonder if I can set up a VPS on my hosting service. Like, I wonder if I can set up one for free, or if I gotta like pay for an additional service. I do already have like a hosting platform, but 0.3 to 0.6. Kind of pulling back here. Yeah, I think that this, like, if I don't know where you got that info, but if that is the case, then I don't think that's right, because the reality of it is that if it goes through your order, like if your order is at 4,000 and it goes up to 4,001, it should be just like it is when you're trading live, where it has to fill all the 4,000s in order to go to 4,001. It like, because it just, it can't like skip price action like that. And it didn't used to do that. And so I think it's really like, it's really kind of a key thing to think about, that like, if I have simulated live trading, I should be getting simulated live trading. Um and and so I think it's just kind of whack that it would be that way. And in the past I didn't really have that issue. It's only been an issue that I've been dealing with since 2023. And like since the start of the new year. Yeah, like I've seen it happen before, but you're right. I mean, it's never been this bad. There's the 912 crossover. It finally happened, finally took place. So now we're likely to get a new set of moves. Watch out for resistance at the 50 and at the 35. Got a nice big rip here. Gonna try to get in off 350. It's 2 ticks below where it's currently at, so I need a little pullback first. I noticed that there is some relief if you go in here and hit collect garbage. It does help, but there's a little rip there up to the 50. I need a pullback. I'm going to try to enter off of 4,004. There's the pullback to right where I just was. Okay, well, it entered me at 3 1/4 on this rip down. It lost my sell order though. I'm going to put my sell at 5. That is a heavy rejection there. Whoa. I wish it didn't fill me. Take the good with the bad and throw the baby out with the bathwater, right? GTM going 1.7 to 2.2 to 2.4 to 2.5-ish. I'm going to reduce this sell order down to 350, but I think I just need to cut the trade in its entirety. Yeah, 200 is getting above the VWAP. I'm out. I'm out on this. If it'll let me out. Hopefully it'll let me out higher rather than lower, but tempting to get out of this. Still not letting me out. Now we're going into red on the account on the day. Still not letting me out. I shouldn't even have time to have a whole conversation about this. So it did let me out. We ended up losing like $400+ on that, I think. Weren't we at 562.50? I think we lost 450. But I tried to exit here, so I don't know. It's looking like we're about to get some short setups coming in. I'm gonna switch this back over to ticks, and I'm gonna look for a short right here. So just wherever it lets me in. Ended up filling me at the bottom of that candle. Filled me at $39.99. Am I out of my mind? $1.99. Are you out of your mind? So now I'm looking for a blue to red. We've got this 9 below 12, 200 moving averages working its way above the VWAP and working its way towards a 5200 crossover towards the downside. So where do we have room down to? There's that trade there. We've got room all the way down. I'm going to say to 95. We've got room down to. And I think we got room down past that too, but fill me. In short at 98.75. I'm looking for a push down to 98. Bid's currently at 98, but no fill yet. There's 98. Okay, up 412.50 on the day. Our peak of the day is 562.50. Been kind of bouncing around, but just sort of like staying in this area, a little stagnant. We may get a little pop here before we get another drop. But I think this is going to continue to drop for a lot of reasons. On the 1 minute chart, you can see the 50 is approaching a 200 on the crossover on the downside. TTM is switching red. 9's below the 12. We've got the 26 crossover on the downside. If I go to the 3 minute chart, you can see on the 3 minute chart how much red has actually stacked up on the TTM. On the 5 minute chart, you can see same thing. We've been stacking red for a while. So we have a lot of indicators indicating downward momentum. Boo-yoo-yoo. Okay, 4.4 to 4.8 to 5.9 to 7.2 to 7.9 in the current candle here. We're right at 8:30. Getting a little bounce there. I don't think this bounce is going to last. Really getting very close to approaching that crossover of the 5200. It's a pretty large size bounce. Bounce up to 99.50. A lot of buy orders right there on that one. TTM going from 0.1 to 0.6 now to 0.9. I might wait for that 5200 cross. Ooh, All right. There's our rejection up there at 4,000. I think it's gonna continue to drop now. We do have this crossover inbound, so I think shorting is the way to go from here. Yeah, y'all, if y'all hanging out, y'all chilling, make sure you like, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. Join up in our Discord community. We do have an amazing Discord community with some awesome traders, some wonderful entrepreneurs, and some amazing philosophers. We'd love to see you guys in there. We'd love to hear from you. Join up in that Discord. We'll see you there. But also, too, guys, if y'all are looking to earn funding in the futures market, check out Elite Trader Funding. These guys are awesome. In my opinion, they're the best in the business. You can earn funding as low as $10K and as high as $300,000. So y'all definitely gonna want to check them out because you could be getting access to like a $150K account for less than $295. I say less because you can use the link in the description and the promo code JSBEST to get at least 25% off knocked off for life. So y'all are gonna want to take advantage of that and start trading with your own account and use somebody else's money to earn your funding. As you use somebody else's money, you can leverage somebody else's capital in order to be able to make pretty strong trading income. So I'm not going to say it's easy to pass an evaluation, but definitely, in my opinion, these guys are the best in the business to offer evaluations. There's a one-step evaluation. This is just literally one step. You follow their rules. You can find the rules next to any of the plans that says see more details. And click that and you can read about it. There's one step, there's the statics. The statics and the one steps are probably the most popular. Personally, I'm working on 100K static and a 50K one step. And then the other one that a lot of people really are liking is the Diamond Hands evaluation. This one is brand new to the business. I've never seen anything like this in another prop firm, but you can actually hold positions overnights, weekends, which is really rare to see something like that. They also are one of the only prop firms I've seen with a Discord community, so you can actually get in there, ask questions, connect with other traders, etc. So you're definitely going to want to check these guys out. Elite Trader Funding, there's a link in the description. Promo code JSBEST to lock in a lifetime discount. Having said all that, let's jump back into the chart for a second here. There's that 5200 crossover. I was looking to possibly play that, but it does have a little bit more support than I thought I'd see. Moving from 1.7 to 2.1 to 2.4. We may hold support here, but I think this is going to continue to drop. 2.4 to 2.5, getting some leveling off in the TTM. We'll try and go short there off 99. Short on 99. And I'm just looking for a move down to 98 and a quarter. There's 98 and a quarter. Up 525 on the day. And I think I might call it there. We've been hanging out for about an hour, up $525. We took a few too many trades, in my opinion, just to sort of end at 525. Total profit on the day is 394.20 after fees. I think this is going to continue to drop, especially with that crossover there. If I was to look at this on a 3-minute chart, 3-minute also has a crossover inbound. But it's a ways out. You can see there's the 200 right there, and the 50 is way up here. So they're a ways off from each other. Actually, 3-minute chart's getting a yellow candle. Did y'all see that? Yellow candle on a 3-minute chart would be a pretty strong indication of an upward move. You can see this is our last 3 minute 3 minute yellow candle here. It's right there. Boom. That ran up at about 7:30, and that was where we started. We got some pretty solid trades off that. 8:33 to 8:36. Now it's 8:37. If this candle closes yellow, maybe a really good opportunity for a bounce. Pretty strong resistance along the 9 EMA though. Just gonna check in with the 5 minute. A 5 minute yellow candle would look really strong. You can see our last 5 minute yellow TTM was this entire move right here. So there's the yellow swap on the 5 minute candle right there around 39.80 and ran up all the way to 40.19. So one could have entered here like 85 and ran all the way up to like 4,015 and gained what, $30 in movement on the chart. So definitely a lot of opportunity on that. TTM on the 5 going from 7.9 to 8.1. Prior to that, it was 7.3. So some leveling off on the TTM 5 as well. So there may be a pretty strong opportunity for a bounce here shortly, maybe at the top of the hour, or maybe at 8:45. 45 seems lately like it's been a pretty good area for bounces. But like I said, I have to see this 3 minute yellow candle form and stay. So the 1 minute tells a different story. The 1 minute looks like it's just going to continue dropping, and I say that because really there's the 200 cross over there, the 5200 cross, and yeah. So anyway, y'all, I'm gonna go ahead and shut it down there. I want to thank you guys for being here. What's up, Pon? Yeah, we're doing well today, man. We're up like 525, like just okay. Um, Gave back as much as I made for a lot of the day. I think I traded a little too much, but we're doing all right. But yeah, y'all, I'm gonna go ahead and jump off here. I want to thank y'all for being here today. I'm gonna jump over into our Discord community, where I'm gonna post my reflection and my results of the day. End of the stream a little early today, but market's a little slow, kind of boring today. So, thanks so much, y'all, for being here, and we'll see you guys tomorrow on Friday, 7:30 a.m. Pacific. That's 10:30 Eastern time. Up $18 in the combine and 75, so not bad. Yeah, that's cool. Hey Pawn, do you use Ninja Trader? I thought I saw some Ninja Trader screenshots that you had posted up. Just a curiosity. Have you figured out a way to make it to be where it's all in one window? I tried to do it with like a virtual box, but it was just, I don't know, just seemed kind of convoluted. But one of the things that it was really the biggest thing that I was struggling with was with Ninja Trader is that like the chart was its own window, the DOM was its own window, everything was its own window, and I used like Alt Tab a lot. So it made that function kind of non-existent. So I was just curious if you found a way. A virtual box was the answer I found online, but a virtual box is like I've set them up in the past, but they're not straightforward to me for whatever reason. So I was wondering if that's how you work it, or if you just have found a efficient way to work with all the individual windows. You click just Google to get off all tabs. Like you click the button called Google, or you like go to your browser and you're telling me to Google that. That I can't tell if you're saying that you click a button called Google or if you're like Google that Mo Alpha. Oh, okay. So you just click Google Chrome and then click back into your tab. I try to do that, but then like when I do it, like makes me want to select an individual window. And I'm like, yo, I'm not trying to select like each individual window. I was doing it in a way where I was like clicking like minimize all tabs and then restore all tabs, but I'm like, that's just too many steps to like go back and forth. But I guess like it makes sense if I'm not using my internet, like my browser at the same time that I'm trading, then it seems fine. But if I'm doing anything else besides using NinjaTrader, it gets a little challenging. I legit thought you were like, I totally thought you were like, let me go to Google and type that in for you, and then like it sends you that link where you're like, you know, where it just like Google searches something for you. I was like, oh no, I'm getting trolled. Just gonna throw the chart up here for a second. You can see here on the 1 minute chart, we're actually getting a red to yellow. We're getting a little bit of a pull up here. Um, I don't completely trust a breakout up here because you can see that the 200 moving average is very much diverting from the 50 on that crossover there. So I don't really think I would trust a breakout at this point. But I would definitely want to see. So the 3 minute is putting in some yellow candles. So it does seem to actually be getting support here. I probably want to see, and like I said, 845 would make it a rip upward. But what I actually want to see is yellow candles showing up on the 5 minute chart. There's one yellow there on the five. Um, so, but yeah, either way. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and shut it down, y'all. Thanks so much for being here, guys. Love and appreciate you guys. We'll see you tomorrow, 7:30 Pacific, 10:30 market time. I'm gonna jump into our Discord community and post some stuff. Pon, I just got your message. I'm gonna check it in a second. All right, y'all. Peace.